10, if that's okay.
film as we are live.
So we should start. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Walked In Together but Better Meetup. So these virtual meetup sessions are the byproduct of this lockdown happening all around the globe. And these are the meetups organized by the volunteers of ILUG-D and Delhi Hardware Hackers Club. So we have scheduled many talks for these virtual sessions, and we have updated all the sessions on our calendar. So please subscribe to our calendar to stay updated on these meetups. We organize all these meetups on a digital platform. So the URL for the talk will be shared before the session so that we can avoid the spam on the room. And also we have weekly virtual quiz every Friday with a community check-in where we have a quiz. The quiz winner will get an awesome and quick, cute plant whenever we get to meet in person, of course. All the sessions are recorded and streamed on YouTube. So go there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The links are available in the chat. Stay connected with us on social media as well. Join our Telegram rooms. Follow us on Twitter. Links are available. We also have a meetup page for ILUG Delhi. Please subscribe. Please join the meetup group for the ILUG Delhi to stay updated as well. And since the meetups are organized by volunteers and it's a volunteer-driven community, we are always looking for someone to help us with the sponsorships, for the stickers, for the logistics. If you want to help us help the community thrive and want to help us in any way possible, please reach out to us on Twitter, Telegram, or mailing list. And we have a code of conduct to be followed in this virtual meetup sessions. So if you don't want to read the full version, just be nice to everyone, respect everyone. And to make the most of these sessions, set your display name to something more recognizable, follow code of conduct, mute your microphone when you're not speaking, use raise hand feature in the bottom left corner when you want to speak. If you have a question during the session, please put a question with Q column in front of the chat in the chat platform, bottom left corner. You can also ask directly at the end of session or as per the speaker's choice. You can also propose a similar session at our GitHub ILUG-D Talks issue page, and we will be more than happy to host you. And yeah, that's all. So, Raman, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a session on modern JavaScript packaging where Raman will speak about how these packages work and the technicalities. So handing over to you to Raman.
Thank you. Welcome to all who are watching on live stream and who are on this chat, and also to those who are watching it later on YouTube. This talk is called, I will also share my screen. Just a moment. Entire screen. Can someone confirm that they can see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. So this talk is called Modern JavaScript Packaging, and the promise is that by the end you will know enough to be able to create your JavaScript package and also publish it on GitHub and NPM. Before we start, a little bit about me. My name is Raman Tehlan. I have worked with companies, worked with at Audacity, Norati, Timeless. I recently got to also work with Forensic Lab, and also got to did some consultancy. My interests include open source software, creating them, contributing in them. Uh, I also love working in teams, growing communities, and also philosophy. In open source, I so far have created 10 plus, contributed to 10 plus projects, and these contributions are major, minor, all included in one this 10 plus projects. I have created 20 plus projects in teams throughout the last 4 or 5 years during the hackathons or other things, and I love doing things in teams as I've been focusing on that. Right now, I'm contributing to Antract. Antract is a React-based SDK to create your interactive computing environment. Antract manages about 70 plus packages, and approximately it is downloaded 100K times per month. And before we can jump into this is actually this is going to be a hands-on session. So before we jump into creating a package, let's just clear a few definitions out. What is a package? Package is independent. So basically, I'm going to define some of the properties of a package and I'll also explain them throughout. Package is independent, which means it does not depend on any other program to work. However, one can argue that it does depend on other packages. That's true. A package can depend on sub-dependencies, but when a package is shipped, it is also shipped with all the sub-dependencies, and on the user end, or like the person who is using that package, he does not have to configure all the sub-dependencies. Just he can use just the main package he's trying to access, and that's why it's independent. Initially, if it's a compiled languages, all the dependencies are compiled into one single binary, and that's why it's seamless. JavaScript is not compiled, and that's why you get all those small packages in your node module. But it's independent on design, at least. It's reusable. It's pretty straightforward that a package is meant so that it can be used again and again in the same or other projects. It's distributable, that it can be distributed to other developers to use in their projects. So a package is independent, reusable, and distributable. Let's talk about a registry. So now you have a package and you want to distribute it, or probably want to store it or manage it. And that's exactly what a registry is. It stores, manages, and distributes your package. The most popular registries for JavaScript right now, public registries, are NPM and GitHub. And GitHub registry came last year in May, so it's not even been a year. And initially they released it as a beta use only. Now it's for everyone. Everyone can go to GitHub packaging registry and publish the packages. If you go to this link, in fact, you can see the number of packages which are managed by this registry right now, which is approximately 1.6 million packages. So it makes it the biggest package manager right now. And in fact, the interesting thing is you can even create your own registry. You can private or public. You can host it, and many companies do that. Moving on, now we have a package. We have a registry, where it is stored. We need something. We need some tool to communicate or to help us communicate with that registry. So that's where the package manager comes in. They helps you install, delete, and manage packages on your system. And the most popular package manager and the official package manager is NPM, but you also have Yarn, which is the most popular alternative to NPM and was started at Facebook. And Yarn is basically used for offline cache and deterministic installs. and that's why it's actually preferred for a production-based application. And then you also have something called PNPM, which is known for saving disk space by saving one package just once in your system and creating symlink in the project you're using it. And that's it. And for this talk, we are gonna create a module to it's just an example to explain the fundamentals. A module to find the distance of a point from the origin. Very simple package. It's so simple that you probably shouldn't make such a simple package. Package should be more useful than just this. But again, it's just for demonstration. And I will just jump into my terminal. Can someone confirm that they can see my terminal? I'm just guessing that since I'm sharing the entire screen, they can. So we first start by creating our directory, basically the project name.
Raman, if you can increase the font size of your terminal as it's been streamed on YouTube, and current YouTube limit is of 480p, so it might not be visible to everyone.
Okay, I've increased it. Is it fine?
A little bit more, like the font size I'm talking about. Little bit more, just a little bit more. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna name the package something called, I'm just naming it just dist. Okay. So we're gonna create a directory dist. We're gonna git init. Then we're gonna use the CLI npm, which is a official package manager, and with which you can initialize your package. You just have to do npm init, and then the flag y to automate the automation of the creating of package.json file. So now your package.json file has been created. So a package.json file is the manifesto file, which is basically a file which describe your project, like the name, version, and all the basic parameters your project have. Once we have that simple package.json, I'm gonna install the required subdependencies. So for this project, we are depending on, we're going to create a project with TypeScript. So this is, I'm little opinionated here with TypeScript, because when you're creating a package, you want it to be safe as in when a user is using it, it should check things like the types and shouldn't fail in runtime. That's why I prefer TypeScript, but you can use the pure JavaScript as well. And to use TypeScript, you need to install it as a dev dependency. What's the difference between a dev dependency and normal dependency? When you the dependencies which you use to create the package is called dev dependencies. The packages you use in the package are called dependencies. Sub dependencies are basically which are used before it's built. So it can be anything like test tools and anything like that. For us, it's just going to be TypeScript. This will install TypeScript. Now you will see. Okay, so I did a mistake here. I did not go to the folder. That's okay. I'm gonna just install the TypeScript again here. I'm gonna check the dictionary, check the directory now. So we have package.json, package.log.json, and node modules. Basically, in node modules, you will see all our sub dependencies and dependencies. Like right now, we just have TypeScript. And also package.log is a automatically created file, and what it basically does is it makes your projects more safe. That it if I have to go into it, it basically fix the version which you are using with this project. It locks it, and it also check the SHA. And when you basically share your project, you're not supposed to ship it with it. Now we have TypeScript, and now we need to configure TypeScript to tell TypeScript that how to compile this project, how to convert a TypeScript file into a JS file when you are shipping the project, or basically when you're publishing the package. So for that, we're going to create something called create a file tsconfig, which I'm not going to create to save some time and some efforts on my end. I'm just going to copy it from one of the other project I was working on, basically the example for this project. But however, I will explain to you what it is. So the font, sorry for the if it's too big, but so basically tsconfig tells the TypeScript compiler that how to compile this package, where to compile this package. And if I have to go line by line, this tells the target. So basically it tells that from TypeScript which JS version we have to compile it to. So we have ES18, ES 2017. We're basically ES 17. I'm gonna go with ES5 because it supports most of the browsers, and the module common JS is used to specify that how to generate your ES5 file. And then you have something called declaration, which is true. What it means is that it will also create a .t.ts file, which makes it usable for both TypeScript and JavaScript. So if you publish your package written in JavaScript, even then your project package can be used in TypeScript. In output directory, basically we're telling that in which directory do we have to give the output. In strict, so strict is a ES5 feature, and it again makes your program more secure by applying by making some of the actions safe, as in when it's compiling it. And then you have include, in which you're telling that which file do we have to look for when looking for a TS file to compile. And exclude is to basically exclude the files you don't want the compiler to look for a TS file. So that's it. That was your basic tsconfig file. So now we have the dependency TypeScript installed. We have it configured. Now we have to go to our package.json and basically reconfigure it to tell the change to configure the changes. So one thing to note here is that GitHub only supports scope names. So scope names are which starts with the username of the person who created it or the company who created it. That's lit. And now comes a script. We also need to basically create a script. So if for those who don't know what a script is, it's basically nothing but it's a way of executing some of the other packages in your modules or on your system to compile or to other stuff like linting or to testing. To show you example, you can use it like this. So I said echo hi here, and that was executed. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a build command here, which we're going to use TSC, which is basically TypeScript compiler. And we also need to define something called files. Sorry. And what files tells is that it whitelists the folders or files which we want to ship when we are publishing a package. So you don't want to ship a node module, you don't want to ship your any other folder. If you're using, you want to just ship the package. So we define that the package is stored in our dist folder, and that's why distribution basically. That's why we're going to use that. Here comes your keyword. I'm going to let it be empty for now, and here you have to probably write the author name. Actually, you know what? I'm going to fill in all the things so it's more easy to understand. So I'm gonna even fill the description. Find the distance of a point from origin. And so yeah, and as you can also see, we when we installed in TypeScript, automatically npm also added it as a dev dependency in the package.json, and every dependency is always listed in your package.json. And you probably also need to add a homepage here, which is used by both GitHub and npm to point to the homepage of the project. But right now I'm going to let it be empty. You also need to define something called a repository, which tells which repository do we want to basically which is the repository for this package. But I'm going to let it be empty for now, or just let it be. And now we're going to write the project. So for that, we're going to create a folder src, and we're going to create our file here. Text.ts, and we're going to create a very simple program, which is defining a point and finding the different distance of that point from the origin. For that, just a quick. So TypeScript syntax is very easy to understand. In their official docs, you can actually they say that you can understand under 5 minutes. That's what they say, at least the basic part of it. And even if a person is familiar with many different programming languages, it shouldn't be hard for you to understand. Okay, so now we're defining a constructor where we say that okay, accept the x-axis and then accept the y-axis. And so you see in JavaScript you don't have to define the type, but TypeScript have an optional type checking. If you want, you can even leave it empty, or you can provide it any type, which works for all the types. So now we are saying that so whatever the user is passing the points, assign it to basically a project. And so there's x, y, and this we're gonna use dist. So I have actually practiced this code, and that's why I'm able to easily write it. Otherwise it's not that easy to do live coding. It's I have had a hard time doing that. So the formula for finding the distance between is square root x square plus y square ka square root, basically. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use square of x, the power and y square. So that's how your distance is calculated, and that's it. That's a simple program we're writing. Usually you won't be writing such simple programs just for this case, and we did something wrong probably here. Okay, it should be this. Good. Usually when you're creating a package, a real world package to solve something, a real world problem, you will be working, or you will be creating a more complex package than this. This is just to get you started and just to demonstrate. And in fact, I'm going to go to the length of how you can verify it. I'm using something called TS Node, which runs TypeScript like a node in node environment. So I'm gonna import the package, import the class, which is point from index, and I'm gonna create a new point, D. Let's say it's D. No, it should be point actually, because the class is point. And we're gonna create a new point, give it any number. And if you now print p, you can see it's printing x3, y is swipe, and the distance between that. So we can verify by this that it's working. Now we need to so our packages, our program is ready. We need to package it now, basically build it now, and then publish it. Before that, I'm just gonna check my package.json file, and also gonna change the main parameter here, the main key here. What main key is it tells the entry point for your project, or basically whenever you're using this this package, which file to enter from. So for that, for us, it's going to be this and HHJS. Why this? Because in the end, we're gonna compile it to JS, and we're not gonna use TS file for that. So that's why. And now if I run npm run build, it should work. Yes, it worked. I had a nightmare thinking about it, that will it work or not. In the first time, I mean. Now we go to this. So we in our TS config we define that how we want the output to be in dist file, basically distribution file, and we're gonna go to dist. We are already in dist, and we can see we have a definition file .d.ts, and we also have index.js file. And if we vim into it, into it, we can see it is compiled into your ES5, and that was our goal. And so that means our package is ready. It's ready to ship. And to show you how your directory should look now is oops. Yeah, this is how your directory should look now, and we are ready to ship now. So to be able to publish your package, I'm going to define in two steps. Not two steps, basically. First for the npm, and then for the GitHub. For npm, you first need to go to npmjs.org, I guess, .com. Sorry, you need to go to npmjs.com, and you need to log in, sign up, basically, and using your credentials from there, you need to do npm login. It will ask for your username and password. I'm already logged in, and so to check who am I, you can see I'm already logged in, so I won't do that again. Once you log in, now you are ready to publish a package. You just have to publish, and that's it. But it won't publish now, because remember I told you we need to use scope names, basically at the rate username first. So npm use scope names for private packages, but to be able to publish your packages to public, you need to do something called access public. It should work. I hope. Yeah, it worked. Now you can actually go and check it, and I'm gonna do that by going here. I'm gonna write dist. Oh, sorry, it's Raman Tehlan / dist. You can see I just published it, and it's already on npm. But obviously you don't want to publish a package which is useless, so I'm going to unpublish it. And there's some hard rules to unpublish a package, which are that you cannot unpublish a package after 24 hours of publishing it. That's because other packages might depend on it. It might break a complete cycle of dependencies. So there's some rules regarding that. I won't be covering those, but basically it's 24 hours if your package have no dependencies. So that was to publish your package on npm. Now we're gonna go and understand how to publish it on GitHub package registry. To be able to do that, first thing you need to do is you need to create a personal access token. So the process to publish on npm and GitHub are very different. And for now, some of you might feel that GitHub one is very kind of lengthy in some way. and they could have avoided many things, but you will understand the time that why some of the things they're doing is important. So to be able to publish it on GitHub, you need to go to GitHub settings and tokens to generate a personal access token. I'm going to generate a new token. Yes, so you give you the name of the project, basically this. Give it the access to write the package, and all the other permissions which are required will automatically selected and generated here. You probably should copy this because it's you can only see it once, and I'm gonna delete it right now because obviously I can't put it out there. So for me, but you take the token which you generated, you come here and you do the login part again. But here you kind of have to provide registry for it, which I don't remember what it was, so I might have to check. Yes. Basically npm pkg GitHub. Okay, so you have to provide the registry on which you want to log into. So npm-pkg.github.com, I think it was .com. Yes, and then you have to do the same process, provide your GitHub username, and now in the place of password you have to give the personal access token here. You have to basically copy paste the access token here, and then you will be able to log in. Again, I'm not going to do that because I'm already logged in. Once that is done, now you're logged into your npm client with GitHub. Now you're going to open package.json, and you're also going to define a key called publish config. Publish config, and you're doing this because you want to tell the package manager that to which registry you want to publish it to. If you're publishing, if you don't have this key, it will be by default publish to default package, basically npm package managers. But to be able to push it to GitHub, you have to provide the registry. Again, the same we use. pkg.github.com, and that's it. So we have added the registry name to our package JSON, and now we can publish it. You could not be okay. So I might have to log into your. Okay, just for the demonstration purpose, I'm going to create it again. I will delete it. Npm login. So at one point you can only be logged into your npm JS registry or either GitHub registry. That's why the issue. And okay, I did not exactly copy it. Username, that's it. Okay, so I'm not able to copy it. So what was the reason? Okay, for some reason it's not working. I'm going to try one more, and if it doesn't work, I have one more method. We actually have one more method. There are two methods to verify which registry you want to publish it to.
Hello, Raman. The spelling of registry is wrong. Registry.
Oh, it worked. basically it worked. So I'm just gonna. So what happened was that I was logged into Node.js and sorry npm's registry, and that's why I was not able to push it to GitHub registry. To be able to push to GitHub registry, you have to log in into that, and then you should be able to publish it. Your request cannot be authorized again. Please ensure your access token is valid and the prepared configuration. Okay, I might have to do one more thing. I did not define my Git the GitHub package here. So what we have to do for that is yes, registry, not registry. So we have to provide the basically. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually quit it, and I'm gonna go to the example which I was working on, which I have published to show you as a backup. And we're gonna go to the package adjacent so that I can show you what I meant. So this is what I was defining right there, because I just realized that I have no registry repository for dist. So I will have to do that. I don't want to do that right now. So we're gonna use this one, and I'm just gonna rename it the package. I'm gonna add the version number because you cannot publish the version again. What did I do wrong? Okay, let's do some debugging here and see if there's something I'm missing. Let's see if there's something I'm missing here. Maybe the flag. I'm missing a flag. npm publish access public. Is it hanged or something? Let's see if it works. Yeah, it worked. So what you can do is now if you will go to this folder and look for packages, you can see it was published right now. Wait, it's not published right now. Which version did I push? I think there is something we did wrong. So we might also have to create a. Let me just think of it for a moment. If I did something wrong. Okay, yeah, we are missing. We have to probably define the same thing again here, which is public. Publish config. Which is so it's always a hard thing to live code and debug at the same time, but then it's interesting to see it. I'm sure you guys are having fun with it. I am. So I did not define this something called publish config, which tells which repository do we want to registry we want to push it to. Let's see if it work. Okay, that didn't work. Is there a spelling mistake I did? Can someone check? Not check, but live debug with me.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So when you are trying to log in on the GitHub Package Manager, so I think you misspelled registry to you forgot to include R in the TRY. So
In this step, in which step?
yeah, this one, registry.
Okay, right. Thank you, Sanket. As I said, it's
Yeah,
always
sure.
fun to live code, but there's some challenges to it. Yeah, I was able to log into it. I don't know why it confirmed me earlier also, but let's just cross our fingers and hope that it publish. It worked, but we are not sure if which one we are publishing. Yeah, it worked. So you can see 11 seconds ago. And the problem is now, because I did not spell it right, it's also published to npm. That can happen, and I will tell you how to avoid that in just a moment. But to confirm that yes, it's also published to there also. Yes, basically I will go to my own page. I have to sign in. Come on. Okay. I honestly don't remember it. Well, I guess I do. Not profile. We have to see packages. Yeah, you see, I actually by mistake published it to npm also, and that's a bad thing, but that can happen. It's now published to both npm and GitHub. I wasn't intending to demonstrate that, but let's just consider it a surprise, and it worked. But we got to fix it, and we fix it by first of all going to your package.json file, removing this line from here. And we come here and we go to, and now we unpublish it. I guess we unpublish it. I think yes. I'm not sure if I'm missing a step or something. I think I am. Okay, yeah, we need to add the force to it because some other bit might depend on it. So yeah, I have removed it from here. Yes, so now I've removed it from npm, and now it's just on GitHub package registry, and that's how you do it. It might require some efforts initially, but if you understand the fundamentals, if you understand the fact that you basically have to, this line makes the difference. This is how you configure to where to point it, which registry to point it, and then you can push it. It works. That's how it works. And also, to be able to use this package, if it's on GitHub, it also requires a little bit of efforts on there also. Let's say this is the package you want to use. If you copy it, because that's what they're saying, right? This is how you usually use npm packages, install npm packages. No, that's not the right way, because you can't install the same package in its source. So we will we'll install it into dist, and we will use. You won't be able to install it. So you can see we were not able to install it. right? To be able to install it, you have to create a file. We have to create a file called .npmrc, basically, where you have to go and tell which registry to use to able to download. So here you define which registry to pull from. So npm.pkg.github.com/Raman Tehlan. So if you're using, you have to use this package. You have to define the registry and you have to define the package, but only if you're using anything else than npm, because npm is the default one. So now if we install the package, it should not fail, and it did not. So we were able to install it. And I think that's how you do it. And I'm gonna conclude. I'm gonna go through again all of what have we done. So we first of all created a package by npming in it. Then we installed a dev dependency to work with TypeScript. Then we created our package. Then we built the package. And finally, when it comes to publishing to npm, you have to first npm login to npm registry, and then just simply npm publish. It should work. And when you have to publish it to GitHub, you have to go to basically your package.json file, and you have to provide this key publish config, where you talk about basically you point the registry to which you want to publish, and that's it. And then you publish it. Also, you have to log into npm with the key, which I forgot to delete. And that's all. You now know how to create your package. You now know how to compile it from TypeScript to JavaScript. You have know how to publish it. You know how to publish it on GitHub. And that's all my time. I will go back to my slides. And if you I have also written a blog on the same process. So if some of the concept in this talk were not clear to you, you can always refer to this blog. It has all the details I just talked about. And if you want to see the code and want to jump right in and understand that, you can again go back to this package which I have written, and you can basically, it will take you to the same place. I'll leave it here for 2 seconds, or otherwise I can also post in the group if someone needs it. And yeah, that's all my time. It was really nice talking about packages today. It was exciting for me because hands-on are always challenging. I have done them earlier also, and it always comes with its own set of problems which you can't exactly solve beforehand. You can prepare as much as you want, but when you're actually doing it, it's kind of very, as I said, it presents itself with new set of problems. And to conclude, I will say that right now, for now, which what are my views about npm and GitHub, to which one you should publish, or what are the changes that are going to come. I won't go deep into it, but I'm going to say that GitHub definitely is going to introduce some more tool chains and packaging. It's going to include I'm expecting it to include some tool chains like for testing, for finding vulnerabilities in your package, and some other things. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping for that. npm also have those things, but they are private, and they have a paid freemium model kind of thing. It's you can store your private packages on it and work with that. So let's just hope that GitHub is going to come up with some new tool chains. But before that, I think I personally will prefer storing them on npm, because there's less configuration required on the user end to use it. With time, I am sure it will get simpler for GitHub as well, or if not simpler, people will adapt to that as well. You can choose any registry to publish it to. It doesn't matter, as long as you're able to explain that how to use it to your users. And that's it. That's my time.
Thank you, Raman, for your talk. So if anyone has any question, please quote your question in the chat or ask directly. So I think can we wait 2 more minutes for the question, or just is it over?
I'm cool with questions.
Okay, so I think I don't think we have any questions. Harsh, can you just confirm if we have any on the YouTube?
No, we don't have any questions from YouTube as well.
Okay, so thank you, Raman. I think that's the conclusion of our today's meetup. Thank you for the awesome talk.
I hope it was helpful to people.
Yeah.